Hello guys, Wahoo here, back with another video. This time around with a requested video. I got requested to do a leveling guide and also a flux guide that's also coming out, or is probably already out. I'm not sure which one I'm doing first, but right now we are doing the leveling guide. So the best tip I can do for any sort of leveling, and also that's why I mentioned the flux one, is that the best tip that I can give you for both making flux or leveling is to find that one thing in Trove that you absolutely love to do and you can keep going. That's the best tip I can give, is that you just keep grinding that one thing that you just love to do in Trove. Rather it's grinding out ores for flux, or if it's just grinding out dungeons for leveling. That is all there really is to do in Trove. But with that mentioned, there is a few things you can do to boost that experience, and I want to mention them right here. So the first one is of course a patron. Of course, patron in here does give you extra experience, 50% extra experience as long as you have the patron going on. So if you want to do that, or you can afford some patron, it is a good one. But it's not the ones that are going to give you the most experience, but I do want to mention it because it's, it is something that is in the game, right? The next thing you would be part of a club that has an XP fixture or a building. I like to call them buildings, but in Club Wahoo that we are here, we have for our community, we have a fixture that is called the Front of Knowledge, and this one gives you 100% experience all the time that you have set this as your primary, and you can change this every 24 hours. So you can, if there is a day, for example, that you feel like you're gonna grind a lot of levels out or a lot of experience, or even if you are max level on all your characters but you only have one day to do so and you need to get your experience for the weekly experience this week. I'm almost at the 2.5 million, so I don't have this set as my primary because the week is far from over. So you do get a good amount of experience for just doing U9 and stuff. I'll mention that in the end of the video as well. But you get 100% extra experience as long as you have set this as your primary. So again, you can change every 24 hours if you want to, if you have other clubs as I have that has other fixtures. The one I am part of right here does not have the XP shrine, so most clubs does not. The only requirement to join our club is that you are online when I do it, because that's what the game tells you to be. And of course, just contact me on the YouTube channel or on the Discord that's also linked in the description. And you can just whisper me or text in our general chat and say, there's a few other guys that can invite, even members. So if you have a friend or something like that, you can invite them. All we really require you to be is be a nice person. Don't spam the chat or post anything profane or anything like that. So as long as you have that, you have the benefit of having extra 100% extra experience. And also if you don't, it's not what you're looking for, there's also a few other ones but we're not a high level club, but we are a good starting club for people to be part of. And since you can be part of 5 clubs, that might be a slot for us as well. But that's enough with of course, the clubs. The next thing is the double XP potion. So let me show you a double XP potion in my personal chest. Right here, double experience post. So it, of course, doubles all of that experience as well. And these are gained from loot collecting some of these coin stuff and whatnot, but mostly you get these from the events. Right now, there's an event going on to Sunfest, and doing a dungeon on Saturdays is actually going to grant you a double XP potion. And these, while these are going on, these events, you can do that every Saturday, or the 2 Saturdays in the 14 days that the events are going on. But what I really wanted to say is that these event comes fairly often, not just this Sunfest, but other events as well. So just keep an eye out for these events. I do videos on the channel, so you can remind yourself to go at least go on Saturdays and getting that double XP potion. It really helps out a lot, and it's for an hour, and like I said, it's double whatever you have. So that's a double XP potion. The next thing is also something to do with the screen we were just talking about before. Today is Friday that I am recording this, but tomorrow is going to be extra experience day, or XP day as it's called. If you do have Patreon, it does stack with this. So I didn't mention it when we were talking about patron because it's not the 50% you get from the patron is every day, but then you get 150% because you get the bonus of the 100% as well, so 150% if you have patron on Saturdays. But if you don't have Patreon, you're still going to get the 50% experience. Also, if you're doing something with club experience or arena win experience, but it is called the adventure experience. That is what you're just grinding out. And of course, this is for when you are going to play PvP. So if there is one day out of the week you want to grind out some levels, make sure you do it on Saturdays. It's gonna give you a lot more experience and it's gonna be a lot faster than you realize. So if there is a day you can do it, make sure it's going to be Saturday. So the last part is going to be XP week. XP week is a bonus of 100% extra experience that whole week. Right now you can't see it because of the Sunfest, but usually there is a another I wouldn't call it icon, but another picture right here that says something about maybe faster invasions or reroll of your second stat and so on and so on. This week it is extra qubits, so you can see I get 1,000 for this. If I had Patreon, it would be 3,000, but since I don't, it's only going to be 1,000 for the first time. You are going to get your star bar done, but you are going to see it if you go into your stats tab. As of right now, I have 100% gained experience. That is for everyone, it's 100%. So it would say 200% if it's not on a Saturday or something like that, but that stacks also with all of it. And I usually, most of the time, I remember to post it on the Discord as well, so you can see if it's an XP week and you can plan ahead and say, okay, so I'm gonna use my double XP potion, and I'm also going to, get my, use the club right, or do it all on Saturday, and then you can plan ahead and bring it all together on Saturday. But I did fail to mention that of course you can also buy them from the store from some of the packs like these right here. You can also buy them from there if you want to do so. But yeah, it's pretty pricey for these double XP potion, I would say. That's just my mention. But now that we have talked about all the extra experience you can gain, patron, club, double XP potion Saturdays, and the XP week. The XP week only comes every 4 weeks, so just keep that in mind because it's a rotation. Let's get into the different methods that you can grind at. So before I mention all of these methods that I got planned to tell you guys about, I do want to mention that the 3 first methods here is not something I recommend, and I go over that in the description part in a little bit, but I do want to say I don't recommend those. After these 3 that I talk about, I do have the 2 methods that I do recommend to you guys doing, and the reason why I am mentioning these other ones that I don't recommend is because some people use them, and they might put comments in the comment section saying that why didn't you mention this or that or Delve or Shadow Towers and so on. So it's just basically mentioning it so you guys are informed. It's not something you should use, or it's really up to you if you want to use it, but I do explain why in the method. So yeah, let's jump into the first 3. Okay, so the first method, or I would bring together 3 methods, and I want to mention the first 2 here, is Shadow Tower and Delve. So Shadow Towers, and also of course Delve got reworked in the latest patch here, and now in Shadow Towers, it used to be the best method of grinding up if you had a group. And it probably still is for the Delve, but let's talk about the Shadow Towers first. I don't know what the experience is because now you spawn into the boss room itself, and I have not tested out if you get experience every time you reset the boss. That would be pretty OP, I would actually say. The first time you spawn into the boss room, you are going to get the box that are there as we are used to, and you use a Del key to open it, and then you open it up and you're gonna get, your rewards, which is going to be just some loot. No souls and stuff like that, if that was what you're thinking. But just some items, and it's not gonna be it's not gonna cover the cost of what it costs you to get into the shadow towers there. But I doubt it's also going to, it's probably going to give you experience the first time, but then the times after that, I'm pretty sure, because there's no box to open afterwards. So I'm pretty sure it might give you experience the first time, and then it's not going to do that for the rest of the times you reset the boss. So I just wanted to mention that if you are an old player, returning player, you know, I wanted to mention the shadow towers like that, because it was a valued method before they reworked all of this into Delve. So Delve is also quite a nice way to level as well if you have a group, because it also scales with how much experience you get depending on what level you are going to get. The more power rank you also have, it's actually going to nerf the experience. So by that I mean, of course, if you go in a group, you can go through it a little bit quicker, and you're not going to get punished by your power rank. But the more power rank you have in Delve, the less experience you are going to get for the different levels and stuff like that. But you do get more experience because it's going down levels. The more levels you do, or the deeper you go into the delves, the more experience you're going to get. But so it's kind of have a retroactive thing, but it's, again, if you have a group you're going with like 8 people or so, it can be a valuable method of grinding all this out. But it's not 2 methods I would recommend at all. The last method I want to kind of mention in this here is something to do with crafting. So I do have to get to another place, and I will see you there when I get there. Okay, so the third method that I wouldn't recommend is going to the Illuminati biome. It's part of the Neon City biome, as you have them right over here, Neon City biome. And as you can see on the map, you have to find these. I'm standing on one right here, but there's also one right here. Let me zoom in some more. It looks like this little icon, and it's small stations, and it's all about crafting. So this guy here is going to have a quest. This is to do rampage bosses, but it would be to either craft let me get him, the charge circuits, or the memory matrix, or the logic loop, sorry. And of course, you could get the materials, and you can get them right over here, and then you can craft them right over here. And that's why I don't recommend this, is because it's gonna cost you materials to do so. It is very easy experience, and you can only do 20 of these every day, but it does give you significant experience. But why I don't recommend it is because you need to use materials for doing this. But if you have the materials, this is a very valuable method of gaining some experience. You're not going to get to level 30 or like 1 to 30 in just doing 20 of these a day, but it is going to be pretty pricey to do 20 of these today. And of course, you also have to find this specific one. This is not the one, and you don't really know which one it could be. This one up here could be, but this one I just wanted to mention. It's basically the same thing. It's not going to look like this, but it is going to have a guy in the middle, and then you're going to find a working bench pretty close where you can craft these things. You can also craft them or buy them off the marketplace. Of course, you can't buy them off there, the whole of them, and you can buy them and just turn them in if you want to do so. But they're probably going to be a lot more expensive. But you can grind out the materials and then do it if that is what you care for. But since it requires materials, I don't want to recommend it to people, because I don't want it to be too expensive for at least newer players. So that's the last of the 3 methods that I wanted to talk about. Let's head into the 2 methods that I do actually recommend people doing for gaining experience. Alright, so one of the best method is to play PvP, if that's your deal, if that's what you like to do, is to play PvP. And I'm about to start this match, so it's a little bit hectic if I'm gonna do so. There's a lot of, what's it called, guys that are AFK for some reason. I don't know why, but that's how people do it. So let's kill these guys off. But yes, PvP is a valuable method of grinding out the your experience. And if that's the deal, what you want to do, that is a really valuable case to do so. Even though that the PvP was nerfed, it's still a good method. And for some reason, there's a lot of bots in these, so you can get up pretty high. As I'm already level 4, or we already 4 left, it's gonna be pretty easy to get some decent experience for doing this. And I can see there's some more AFK over here, so I'm just going to throw some things down here to defeat these buddies, so I can get to a higher position. So there we go. This guy is also dead, and woohoo, we are the almost the winner. So 3 left. It's probably like real people or the last one, but this is a very valuable method as well to do so. So if you want to do you know, experience, definitely do it on the experience, or do it on what's it called, on your on you know, doing it in PvP. So yeah, I just won. Very happy about that. I think there was a lot of bots in this one, but it gave me decent experience, so I'm pretty happy about that. It gives you based on how much damage you've done and stuff like that. So easy win, and we can head into the even better method. Okay, so the last method, and the one I recommend the most, is just to grind dungeons. And you do get more experience depending on what, you know, Uber level or how far you go up this one as you can. But very important, and something people miss a lot, is that you they look at how much it requires and then they just go there. Look at the level instead and just keep going with the levels. If you can see, there's actually 14 to 14. 15 to 17, and keep going with the levels instead of how much you can go. Yes, you can probably go here pretty quick, but you are not going to able to do the dungeons in there. It's all about being efficient. So if you have to go down a few Uber levels, for example, if you could go 5 and you cannot defeat the dungeons without using like 5 potions or something like that, then 5 is not the way you want to go. You want to get it down to a 3rd one instead, probably. Maybe 4 or 3, depending on... You have to try it out. I can't tell you that it's not, but you have to be efficient. 1 potion is all you should be using for doing a dungeon. You can't get up to more than that. So it's kind of a feeling, and you just have to feel it out. Go there, try it out, grind out the dungeons, and that I feel like is the best method, because you get so many things more out of it. It's always gaining, 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 and nothing is really lost by any method, like we were talking about the early ones where you had to craft some stuff and all that. But definitely just grind dungeons. That's absolutely the best way you can. Again, if you like the PvP more, do that. But that's the 2 method I would recommend you doing if you are going to grind it out. So find out if it's PvP the way you want to do it, or grind dungeons if that is what you want to do for experience. Anyways, that was all I had for the leveling guide of, I don't know, 2020. But this is a method you can bring into any kind of year that you want to. So I'm happy that I did this leveling guide. I'm pretty crazy that I actually haven't done one before, but... And there's no, I don't know if you were looking for something bigger science or something behind it, but this is how you are going to do it. I guess the most of the science part was in the methods. You can gain extra experience, as I said in the beginning. So with that said, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you like and subscribe. Helps me out very much and is super much appreciated. And again, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.